Yo, everybody. Hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning, especially for you, okay? Come on in, come on down, sit back, relax, chill, ease your mind, especially to my fellow movie maniacs. Yeah, there's one right there. Man, that guy looks nuts, yes. And my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Sit your butts on down in Mikasa, okay, for Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. Have no fear. I am not going to yell at you like Tom Cruise did while filming tonight's movie, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, okay? So, so this is the movie with the famous shouting match from Tom Cruise. I don't know if it's really a match, but an incident there where he was yelling at people about not wearing their mask during filming this movie. And not necessarily because he believed in wearing masks. It's just because he knew how anal everybody is about wearing the mask during productions. And they had the production shut down several times, costing them a whole lot more money than this movie really needed to. So he's like, put on your fucking mask. We don't need this movie delayed again, okay? And so that's what ended up producing his temper, getting the old getting him a scream and whatnot, so getting him riled up. But hey, checking out live chat right here. So if you're wondering what I was looking at, I was checking out live chat on Rumble here, and we got beer drinking Trev in the live chat here on Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. And he has to say, is this the murder in the first review? Afraid not, my friend. Afraid not. So, but I am going to make that. I'm going to try to make that a thing down the road because we are going to have some slow movie weeks here, okay? Because this week here, Oppenheimer and Barbie both coming out the same week. After this week, really, this is the end of like the big blockbuster movies coming out, really. There really isn't anything else coming out for the rest of the summer at all. I mean, you've got maybe Strays, the cartoon movie about the cartoon dogs that get all, they swear, they cuss and all that stuff. And then also I think like Equalizer 3 is coming out here in September. But other than that, up until like November when Dune Part 2 comes out, it's definitely is not going to be any movies here. I got to kick out a fucking stupid ass spammer in my live chat. Yep. Bye. All right. So but then beer drinking Trev, what else you got in here? We got getting his paint rollers ready. Yeah, because beer drinking Trev, he's putting in some serious work. Okay, he's a real American dude. He gets the job done, and it's depriving him of the pleasure of watching this stream right there. So, but that's you got to take care of a little housekeeping right here. I have to get rid of this spam out of the live chat because as you will realize if you ever do a live stream like this, or if you watch live streams, you realize you get a bunch of dumbasses that come in there and just throw their website URLs in here, like come and check out my live chat, my URLs in here. They don't even say hi or how you doing. They don't even try to fake it, like try to pretend like, hey, great live stream. Hey, here's my URL. No, it's just like, hey, I'm Captain Dumbass. Here's my URL. I'm gonna spam your live chat with it. So dumbass. Dumb motherfuckers all over the internet. So, hey, well, on that note right there, but hey, Beer Drinking Trev, before I go into the intro, Beer Drinking Trev, hey, whenever you can join between painting and all that stuff, I know you're getting rolling up the old sleeves and getting the job done painting, but whenever you can get on in here, that's cool. Or if you want to, I was telling Beer Drinking Trev here this earlier, if you can only join for like 15, 20 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes, that's better than not joining at all, okay? That's helping me out. And then, of course, hit the like button there on the show, if you would, okay? And then follow this channel. I mean, that doesn't take any time, right? Hit the follow button, hit the like, the little thumbs up button there. It doesn't take anything, all right? And then you can go on with your day and do whatever you walk the dog, go make some brownies, whatever you got to do, okay? So, all right, hey, before we get too far into this here, let me give you something to dance to.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad. You'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Yeah, oh yeah. So I think that gets a point across about what show you are watching. And so, of course, as I said before, this is the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, okay? So get comfortable and get ready, because you might...
I gotta go tinkle.
Yeah, so hey, you can do whatever, you can do that whenever you want during the show. That's the beauty of live streams, is you can always pause it, okay? You're not stuck in the movie theater like I'm going to be later on tonight watching a 3-hour Oppenheimer movie. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I gotta go water the daisies, but this is a really good part. And there's like, and 2 hours left in this movie. Damn it. All right. So that might be a quandary I run into later on tonight, going to see Oppenheimer for you for next week's spoiler warning, or our Movies Merica spoiler warning show. And then, of course, I'll have my Oppenheimer spoiler-free review coming out this Sunday. Okay. So Oppenheimer, look for it. Okay. But we're talking about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 right now. And yeah, I definitely dug this movie. If you saw my spoiler-free warning, or spoiler-free review this past Sunday, you know that I really dig this movie, and I would highly recommend you definitely see it if you haven't seen it already. If you haven't seen it already, I'm not sure what you're doing in here, but hey, you know, I'll take all the attendance in here I can possibly get. Okay. But coming up on the show here, obviously I'm going to go over some points that I liked about, or that I had about the movie, not necessarily liked, but just some general overall points about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 that I noticed. And that gives you the opportunity, while I'm yapping and blah, 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 blah about, you know, this movie here, that gives you the opportunity to get in the live chat, just like I'm Sean Cav just did. He just got in the live chat over here and seeing, yeah, that's my weak-ass Fat Albert impression. So, hey, I'm Sean Cav. Welcome, man. Good to see you. And I hope to hear more from you here tonight for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. So, or if you haven't seen the movie there, I'm Sean Cav. Obviously, feel free to mute it and just still watch. There you go. I'll tell you. It's got to be, I mean, I'm sure I'm so entertaining in this show that you could watch with the volume off, and I'm just so captivating and just so riveting. But yeah, so live chat through Rumble and through YouTube if you want. If you chat with me through YouTube, I can throw your comment up on the screen, all right, to give you that extra notoriety, okay, get your name in lights, so to speak. So, and then again, yeah, like this show, just hit the thumbs up there in Rumble or YouTube, okay? And then subscribe or follow this channel real quick, okay? That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do, okay? And then you can comment down below the show there as well. Okay, so let's get right into Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. So as you guys know, AI, even if you haven't seen a movie, if you have ever been on the internet for more than 5 minutes, you probably know that AI, or what they call the entity in this movie, is the main bad guy, right? The big bad. You know, it's what they're fighting against in this movie. And I just wish that with AI, they would have done more to make it more foreboding, like really get the point across that this is an enemy, an adversary that you should really be shitting your pants about, okay? Now I get it. I mean, I get it. It controls everything electronic, and I'm just picturing in my mind all this stuff that this AI can do, because it's connected everywhere. Its tentacles are all over the planet, right? Connected to all kinds of networks, databases, all that stuff, right? But I think that they should have done more to show, okay? Don't tell me, show me, okay? And that's a mantra they say about good filmmaking is show, don't tell, show, okay? And I think if they would have had some segments like AI controlling traffic lights, so crashing cars into each other and that kind of thing, you know, just semis ramming into other cars and all these traffic accidents, kind of like what they did in Die Hard. Was it Good Day to Die Hard? the one with obviously Bruce Willis and Justin Long and whatnot. They had the fire sale, that whole thing. They were controlling the traffic lights and causing all kinds of traffic mayhem and all kinds of shit. And then have it like where AI is like shutting off electrical grids and that kind of thing. Just overhead shots of like Earth and town, cities and the power grids going off because the entity is fucking with it, right? Have it control like killer drones coming in and just killing at will, just nonstop murder and mayhem. And I realize this is a PG-13 movie. I'm not saying come in there and like have blood and guts and gore and all that stuff, but just do stuff like that to really show how dangerous it is. I mean, you could also do, and this would be stealing from like Furious 8. Where Charlize Theron's character was controlling cars that, are controlled electronically. But you could have the entity in this movie controlling a bunch of cars, right? Just running over people and shit, just all kinds of cool shit. Well, not say cool shit, but deadly shit like that going on in this movie to really show you that, man, the entity is something that they, again, should be shitting their pants about. Like, oh my God, we got to stop. We don't have to just stop this. We have to stop this 5 minutes ago. It's killing people in the millions. Look at this thing, Now, I got a feeling they're going to do more of that with the movie here in part 2 because they do show in the making of part 2 footage that I've seen, photos, videos, that kind of thing. And also like Tom Cruise doing that thank you video where he's flying on the biplane, like the World War I era biplane, which of course is not connected to any electronics, right? Okay. It's got no avionics, nothing like that. Okay. It's just a prop plane, right? And so in that thank you video that he did, thanking everybody for watching part 1, okay, they showed him on the biplane. So I think they're going to show more of AI controlling everything electronically, just showing some havoc and that kind of thing, like I was just talking about more, because I think they're realizing in part 2, yeah, it can't be flying, driving, whatever, anything that's connected to the internet at all, anything electronic, I guess anything with an integrated circuit, maybe, I don't know. And so we might see more of that in part 2. I think that would be really, really cool there, because I mean, and then of course they had Esai Morales. And he was like the human enforcer, or is the human enforcer for the entity. And like I said in my spoiler-free review, I was disappointed by his Gabriel character. I just thought that he was just too stoic. And I know they tried to make him stoic and try to make him like this silent but extremely deadly kind of assassin, like this mega deadly foe for Ethan and the team and that kind of thing. And I guess they didn't want him to be too over the top, like some 1970s era James Bond villain or something like that. So they just wanted him to be deadly but stern and serious and that kind of thing. It just didn't work for me. So I was disappointed because I like Esai Morales. I like him as an actor. I like him as Del. In the TV series on Netflix, Ozark. I liked him way back in the day when he played Bob, Richie Valens' brother in La Bamba. When Richie Valens' brother in La Bamba, played by Lou Diamond Phillips, and Esai Morales was in that movie playing his older brother Bob. It was a great movie. So checking out live chat here. So we got here, and just got a little Mission Impossible chat going on there. So good to see I'm Sean Cab and Beer Drinking Trev in there. And I'd like to see you in the live chat. Okay. This is your chance. Like, if you've ever watched a movie and you're like, man, I really want to talk more in depth in this, but I can't talk to my wife or my husband because they roll their eyes and they groan every single time I want to start talking about the movie. Like, shut up. All right. And just help me with the dishes. All right. I don't want to talk about Mission Impossible. Okay. Shut up. So if you're like looking for somebody to talk in depth about movies, hey, you've come to the right place. You're talking to the right guy right here. And so getting in the old live chat on either Rumble or YouTube is your chance to do that. Okay. So, all right. Now, one thing that cracks me up, not just about this movie, but other movies in general, is I love it when I hear people complain about movies not being realistic, okay? Oh, so Tom Cruise in this movie just happens to crash in the exact window where the guy is holding the gun to Hayley Atwell's Grace character, and just so happens to be that exact window. Give me a break, man. I don't know if you realize this, people who have those takes, but you didn't watch this movie on the Discovery Channel, okay? This is not a documentary, okay? That might be breaking news to you that Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is not a documentary. But let me make that pointedly clear. Action movies like this and John Wick and Indiana Jones, they're not documentaries, okay? You're going to have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, okay? Okay. You want realism, go to a museum, okay? This is a fantastical, fictional movie that is there, at least in part, to divert you or be an escape from reality, okay? That's the whole point, okay? At least for me, I go to movies to escape from reality, unless I'm watching like Schindler's List or Sound of Freedom or something like that, okay? Now, I know you want to make sure that you got accepted to all 8 Ivy League schools and you turned them all down and you want to sound more, smarter and more profound than you actually are, but it's a fucking fictional movie, okay? So yes, there are going to be things in this fictional movie. Let me rephrase. Let me emphasize. Fictional movie where things that are going to seem unrealistic are going to happen. They're going to happen. Okay. It's just going to happen. Okay. So you're going to have things like Tom Cruise crashing into the exact window. It's called furthering the plot forward. I think you might be grasping what I'm saying. Okay. I belabored that point there enough. Now, before I move on here, so yeah, I should probably just break this up here. And just tell you guys all about our fantastic tdpn.locals.com website, okay? And right there, the reason that I'm telling you all about this is because this is your chance to go to that website and you can check out all our fantastic content, okay? And go there and you can see articles and blogs and videos and all that, all about movies and entertainment, okay? You can get cocktail recipes in there. I mean, like, I'm Sean Cav, like I was just mentioning before. He's got this excellent dirty old-fashioned, or not spicy old-fashioned. There we go. Spicy old-fashioned recipe among other cocktail recipes in there, okay? My mouth is watering just thinking about it, okay? And then they talk about, we have articles and movies and blogs about, like, hot button issues, hot sizzling issues of the day, okay? Some tend to be political. Some tend to be of the entertainment or, whatever variety. Okay. Just got to go in there, find out for yourself. Okay. And then they talk about other headlines, that kind of thing. So, but you can check all that out at tdpn.locals.com. Now, I'm sure what you're probably saying to yourself, or some of you might be saying to yourself, is, come on, Van, I could get that all kinds of other places. All right. You think like your website has the exclusive, is exclusive to that, has the monopoly on that kind of stuff. You know what? You're right. There are a lot of websites that talk about those topics, but they don't write about them and put videos out there, anything like what we put out there. Okay. And right now, if you go out there and use promo code TDPN, you can get 1 month free membership. Okay. And also, one other thing that you can do out there, or will be able to do out there here soon, is I do this thing called Movies Merica Mad Libs. Okay. Where what I do is I've created 3 movie characters, and then I've written a movie script for them, okay, or part of a movie script, okay? And we've already had the first scene, because obviously scripts have scenes, right? Okay, we've already had the first scene, and I've had my 3 characters that I've created, okay? And what I do is in each scene, I'll write like the first few lines, for each character, okay? And then you get to write the rest of the lines for the scene for those characters, okay? So that's the Mad Libs part of it, right? You get to write, in there, whatever you want for the characters, whatever you want, okay? And then me and Ian and Sean, the unholy trinity that is the Till Death Podcast Network, we have to read whatever you write for those characters, whatever it is, whatever you put in there, whatever sick, depraved things you put in there. We got to read it off because we're going to read it on a live read coming up here on a future episode of this show. Okay. So, yeah, are you having a bad day at work and you want to take out your frustrations on somebody? Well, get in there and Movies, Merica, Mad Libs on tdpn.locals.com and just get in there and write the next lines for those characters, okay, and let us have it, okay, because we gotta read off whatever you write in there. We gotta act those characters out, okay. And one of the characters is a woman. Last time I had to play the woman, so Patsy Penicillin is her name. She's a hairdresser / whore. And that gives you an idea as far as what kind of story that is. But yeah, tdpn.locals.com. And yeah, get in there and put in that promo code TDPN and get yourself a 1 month free. And it's like $3 a month tops after that each month for it. Okay. All right. So enough about that. Okay. So hey, I gotta get a drink up here. I'm getting parched. All this hard work. Okay. Uno momento. Oh yeah, that hit the spot. Absolutely. Now this movie here. Now you may have heard that the box office isn't as quite as big for this movie as you would have thought. Because I thought it was going to start out bigger than it did. Okay, because remember last summer, a year ago, May, Top Gun Maverick, right? You may have heard of this movie, okay? It made like $1.4 billion. So you may have heard of Top Gun Maverick, right? Tom Cruise comes out. He thanks everybody for coming out to watch the movie. The movie comes out. It's a colossal hit. Makes, like I said, $1.4 billion, I think, okay? And so he builds up all this goodwill, right? And then on top of that, before each showing of Top Gun Maverick, they had a trailer for what? This movie, right? Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. There was a trailer, before you saw Top Gun Maverick last year in the theaters, okay? And so I thought that the box office for this movie was going to be just explode. It's going to be like a nuclear explosion of people coming out to check out this movie. Well, not so much, because they had some events at the theaters, at the box office that they just couldn't foresee coming. Okay, not at all. And so and I think there's a couple of reasons why the box office just wasn't as big as I was expecting it to be. Well, first of the two things is I think moviegoers are being soured on the idea of going to the theaters because they were left disappointed by like Transformers Rise of the Beast and The Flash and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I mean, I got to imagine their motivation to get up off the couch, throw all the kids in the car, and drive to the movie theater, spend $150 on a movie. That motivation was probably near zero after being disappointed by those movies that I just mentioned there, okay? And so they just, unfortunately, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, for reasons outside of its control, was the victim of just a lack of confidence in the movie going public after, those three shit shows of movies that I mentioned right there, particularly Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, okay, because that one flopped. That movie is, I think there's a pretty good chance that is going to be considered Disney's biggest flop, okay, because up until now, John Carter has been known as the biggest flop. I mean, just going off the numbers that of, the amount of money that Disney lost on John Carter, it was the biggest flop. I think Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is going to make, take John Carter. It's gonna basically make a run for its money right there. So it might overtake John Carter. Okay, there. So yeah, they just didn't want to. They have zero motivation and zero confidence in going to the movies. But I think the good word of mouth is going to help this movie make more. The number two reason that I think people did not go see Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 right off the bat is people went to go see the phenomenon that is Sound of Freedom instead. Okay, I mean, Sound of Freedom, this little movie with a $14.5 million budget has just crossed the $100 million mark. Okay. $14.5 million budget. Okay. And it's just crossed the $100 million mark. I believe it was this morning that, as of when I'm recording this, it just crossed the $100 million mark. Okay. So, little golf clap for Sound of Freedom. Okay. And that's thanks to you guys. Okay. Because you guys got out there and you guys were like, I'm not going to go see Indiana Jones and a Dial of Disaster. I'm going to go see Sound of Freedom instead. Okay. And it's hilarious because you look at the box office every day, in the recent days, and it's like Mission Impossible #1, Sound of Freedom #2. And then Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny and The Flash and whatever else below that. But this little movie from Angel Studios. Who the hell ever heard of Angel Studios before this, right? Okay, except for maybe a few, people who went to go see their faith-based movies. Okay, but yeah, it's just like it's like made $100 million, like incredible. Okay, and it's right up there with massive, blockbuster tentpole movies like this Tom Cruise movie we're talking about here. So, and like I said, last year Tom Cruise, he won over conservative audiences with Top Gun Maverick. But unfortunately for him, yeah, those conservative audiences, they went for Sound of Freedom first. Okay. So the same demographic that would go see Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is the same demographic that is going to Sound of Freedom and going to it in droves, obviously, because like I just said, it just made $100 million. And you look at like the box office numbers for it, and normally most movies, like every day, they decline little by little, right? You see like the percentage of people going to the movies goes down. Sound of Freedom, you look at the last days, it's been going up. Okay, every single day. Here, I'll just show you here. Don't take my word for it. Let's check it out. All right. Yes, don't believe me. Don't believe the hype. The numbers.com. Gotta go to the numbers.com. Check it out. I would recommend that. So if you're like a movie nerd like me and you're like a movies number nerd, definitely check out the numbers on there. So, all right. So let's check this out. The numbers. Let's get that bad boy out there. Yeah. All right. Add stream. Okay. So yeah. So here's on numbers. And so yeah, look at that. Sound of Freedom #2. And see all these percentage right there. So percentage last week, I believe, is what that means. So meaning like how much is it down from last week, I think is what that means right there. So I guess I'm not as much of a movie nerd. I should know what that means, right? But see, you look at this, like all the rest of the movies, they're going down in percentage, right? Look at Sound of Freedom. Look at that little movie that could going up 7%, man. Hell yeah. Let's check out the previous day. Up 42%. Look at all that red on all those other movies there. Yeah. Up 24%. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about right there. Okay. That's why Sound of Freedom is making the big dollars and stealing the moviegoers from Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 for now. Okay. Because eventually everyone that was going to go see Sound of Freedom is going to have seen Sound of Freedom. And now they're going to start dragging the family and friends to Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. And there's a lot of good word of mouth going on about this movie. And so, yeah, its numbers are going to go up. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, it's going to have legs at the box office, okay? So, absolutely. Let's check out live chat. See what we got over here. And, oh, yeah. And Beer Drinker Trip. And as promised, you gave John Carter another shot, correct? So, you know what? I have not. So I said I was going to see John Carter, and I have not seen that. I'm going to write that down. I want to write that down right now because that's how I roll, Beer Drinker Trip. I have actually got to write shit down right when people mention that to me. Otherwise, I will forget that shit. Okay. Yeah. All right. So got that down. Yeah. All right. So I know, riveting, everybody. So I'm going to check out John Carter this Sunday. I'm going to have plenty of time to watch it this Sunday because I originally was going to go and check out Oppenheimer in IMAX. I'm going to go see Oppenheimer tonight right after this show, but I want to see Oppenheimer in IMAX. And apparently in the Dallas area, Dallas-Fort Worth area. Plenty of other people want to go see Oppenheimer in IMAX as well. So I can't even go see Oppenheimer in IMAX until August 6th. Okay, I couldn't even get a decent seat for Oppenheimer in IMAX until August fucking 6th. I know, poor baby. I know. First world problems, right? So yeah, Beer Drinking Trip, John Carter this Sunday. Definitely going to go check that out. All right. So, but yeah, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. The numbers haven't been what everyone, including myself, was expecting. But again, a year ago, 6 months ago, how are they supposed to know that The Flash and Indiana Jones and then, the Dial of Diarrhea was going to be, that those movies are going to be so shitty and they were going to be so shitty at the box office. And then this little movie that could, Sound of Freedom, was going to come out and basically take its demographic away. How could they know, right? But hey, you know what? That's the movie biz. Okay, that's why it's not for the faint of heart, So, Beer Drinking Trip chat never forgets. Exactly. I could delete the chat all I want, but it lives forever. Absolutely. Never goes away like a bad rash. Not that I would know anything about that. Ever. No, not at all. But yeah, I mean, and then another thing I noticed about this movie is that, when, Ilsa dies in this, kind of towards the middle of the movie, Tom Cruise, right when he discovers Ilsa has been killed, obviously he looks distraught, right? He looks sad that Ilsa has died, okay? But I would have thought that he would have shown more emotion. I mean, I get it. Ethan Hunt is supposed to be this tough guy, right? And not show emotion too much, that kind of thing. But, I mean, this is a character, Ilsa Faust, that for the last 3 movies, they have really tried to drive home the point. And these are 2 people that really love each other. Okay, they really care about each other. Okay, and everyone's waiting for them to hook up, right? Okay. Now, don't forget, everybody, this is a PG-13 Mission Impossible franchise. They're not going to fuck on screen. Okay, it's not good. That's not going to happen. Okay, and that's one thing I said in my spoiler-free review. I'm like, I don't expect some steamy, hot, sexy. This is Mission Impossible. This is PG-13 Mission Impossible. We're not going to show that, but they don't even kiss. I mean, all Tom Cruise gets is a constant trip to the hug zone and holding hands and whatnot. But I guess whatever. Okay, it's a trivial thing to worry about. I get it. Okay, but they portrayed them like these 2 are just crazy, madly in love with each other. And so when Ilsa is killed, he's leaning over her dead body, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm so sad." And you can see he's on the verge of tears. I don't think we ever see one tear whatsoever. And then they cut to them, at whatever. They're at their hideout. Okay, they're in Venice, and they just show Ethan Hunt. He's just kind of looking off in the distance, sad, distraught, and whatnot. But I would have thought that we would have seen more emotion from him than that. Okay. Show some of that great acting. Okay. Like, remember the scene in Magnolia when Tom Cruise, he's at Jason Robards' deathbed and he is just wailing and crying and just so emotionally broken up, right? Well, you don't have to get that bad in this movie. Okay. But show some of that. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But, and I thought that the movie moved forward pretty fast from her death too. Okay. That part I understand a little bit more because they're on a race against time. They're on the clock. Okay. So he can't, take 7 days of mourning. Okay. For Ilsa. Okay. Can't do it. Okay. So I get that part more, but I just would have thought that the waterworks would have turned on a little bit, because of Ilsa unfortunately dying in this movie right there. So all right, you know what? I am getting a little thirsty here, and so I think that's destiny telling us that it's brew review time. All right. Hey, let's get this bad boy up in your face. Okay. We got Smithwick's Red Ale coming at you this week. Yes. And this is made by Guinness. You may have heard of Guinness. May have. Okay. And it's brewed by Guinness in Dublin, Ireland. Okay. I'm not even going to try to do an Irish accent. Okay. So, because my Irish accent sucks. Okay. And I'm trying to keep viewers, not repel viewers. Okay. All right. Speaking of viewers, Professor Savage Dad in the live chat. Watch this week. Great movie. Yes, it is, Professor Savage Dad. Thanks for joining us here in the live chat. So, and Tom Cruise was awesome, as usual, with crazy death-defying stunts. Yes, yes, he was. So, and yeah, I'll tell you, that guy gives his all for every movie he's in. Okay. I'm surprised he didn't throw some stunts in Jerry Maguire. You know, I mean, it probably would have felt out of place, you know, him jumping off a cliff in Jerry Maguire, but that's why I'm not a movie director, okay? But yeah, thanks for joining the show, Professor Savage Dad. Hope to hear way more from you here, but I'm going to get the Smithwick's Red Ale and do a little review of the brew right here, okay? And then we will get back to the live chat. You betcha. You betcha. So yeah, this has got like 4.5% alcohol by volume, you know, so it's not going to set your hair on fire and get your throat burning or anything like that. I mean, this is beer, right? This isn't bourbon. This isn't tequila, okay? And it's got like some mild hops, and it's kind of roasted with some sweet malt and some roasted barley. And I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, that's the thing with brew review time. I don't shill for any brew whatsoever. I don't get any money for any brew or whatsoever. So they're not all going to be bangers. Okay, they're not all going to be winners. Okay, and this one is not a winner. Okay, I think it's just kind of bland. It tastes like a red ale that comes from a mass production place like Guinness. Okay. It's Red Dog. It's like at least better than Red Dog. But there's some better red ales than Smithwick's or Red Ale right here. But now that I've talked all kinds of shit about it, I'm gonna take a drink. Very good, but not as good as other red ales. Okay. But kind of bland. Like I say, it's kind of bland. I'm like, really good, pretty good. But yeah, you can check it. You can find like Smithwick's Red Ale. Pretty much. I'd be very surprised if you can't find it anywhere near you. I mean, it's not some obscure underground basement beer, you know, home brewed, you know, by some nerd, you know, who brews like, you know, a batch of 10 bottles. No, this is nothing obscure like that. I'm sure you can find it in your area. So, but Smithwick's Red Ale, if you want to check it out for yourself and prove me wrong, and maybe you might drink it like, man, Vanessa's full of shit. He's totally wrong. I'll tell you, this beer is awesome. Awesome. Okay, so with that, hey, I think we've exhausted brew review time. Okay, let's move on with the show. All right, let's check the live chat here. Professor Savage Dad putting in some massive live chat work over here. All right, we got Hayley Atwell was not only super hot, yes, she was. She was a great character. She played the part very well. It was a very good, strong female character. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, Hayley Atwell. Yeah, I mean, I liked how they made her very resourceful. Okay, she was a very empowered female, very empowered woman here, and I know that, in today's overly woke world, okay, that movies try to make that a thing, but there's nothing wrong with that. I like, I have no problem with a strong woman in a movie. Just don't make it feel forced. Okay. You have to be a skilled enough writer and director to be able to have a strong female character that doesn't feel forced. It does also help that you don't have like your cast going out there on movie junkets and interviews and that kind of thing. Going, this movie is all about female empowerment. Oh my God. Finally, sick of all those evil men. Oh my God. All right. This movie is for the women. All right. Female power. Like, as long as you don't have your cast going out and talking like that, that's a number one way to make your empowered female characters feel forced right there. Like, I'm sure your director, the studio are probably saying to those cast members, shut the fuck up. Okay. Just promo the movie. stop churning and burning the woke shit out there. Okay, just let people judge the movie for themselves. They don't need your 1.5 cents about, what this movie is all about as far as woke quotas and intersectional checkboxes. Okay, but Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 did the female characters just great, and yeah, Professor Savage is absolutely right. Hayley Atwell as Grace in this movie is not only extremely she's a total smoke show, very beautiful, very luminescent in here, but she's quite the thief. Okay, she could pickpocket, she could put pocket, she's has a great sense of humor, very resourceful. She can take care of herself. I mean, she was holding her own against Esai Morales' Gabriel character there for a little bit. I mean, he overpowered her, but she was holding her own there, and she went toe to toe with IMF agent Ethan Hunt. I mean, he's no joke. He knows his shit. He's a formidable character, and she went toe to toe. And I really thought that her and Ethan Hunt really had great chemistry. Okay, because remember the part where they get into the little Fiat. Okay, and he's trying to figure out how to run the Fiat. And he's explaining to her, that it's been a while, or I've never been in this kind of car before. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm going to give it a minute. And she's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. She's looking over. It's okay. It's okay. It's like that. And just like great chemistry that they had, so they, I thought it was another great feature, great bonus about watching this movie. So yeah, she's a very strong female character, and Chat can't forget Chat has autism. Yeah, so the Chat will abide, or this dude shall abide with the Chat right there. And Professor Savage Dad just showering the praise on me, and you know what? I'll take it. I'll soak that in. Van the Man is on it again. Yes, all right. So I try. Yeah, so I'm glad that Professor Savage had a chance to check out this movie this week. I would have thought that this movie, would have had more people that saw it and would be, joining here on the show and that kind of thing, But hey, it is what it is. Okay. What do we got here? The Bud Light is very limited in the coolers here tonight. Yeah, don't drink that tranny fluid, man. Don't do it. Okay, so no matter what, Garth Brooks and who was the other dipshit that was talking about Bud Light? Oh, Charles Barkley, that fuckhead. The round mound of rebound. Yeah, you guys are fucking assholes if you don't drink Bud Light. Okay, so yeah, terrible. Okay. Charles Barkley, you're terrible. Okay, for loving that tranny fluid from Anheuser-Busch. Okay, but definitely want to see more people here in the live chat talking about Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Okay, get on in here. I want to, it's like I don't want to talk to myself, not at all. Okay, and I'm glad I got Professor Savage Dad and Beer Drinking Trev, and I'm Sean Cav in here holding down the forts. Yeah. One other thing I like about this movie is I did like the little kind of idiosyncrasies about this movie, about the plot, like where they had Gabriel, Esai Morales, the human enforcer for the entity, how they had him show up in a reflection in the mirror in the airport in Dubai there, I believe, or Abu Dhabi, one of those places. And so Tom Cruise is is going there to have the big chase scene in the airport. And you got Esai Morales as Gabriel, and he's in there. He's just doing his thing right there, being all sinister in the airport. And it's revealed later on that they caught his reflection in a mirror, and that's how it's revealed to the team and to us as viewers. Who's involved with the entity and who's working on its behalf. And obviously, it turns out to be Gabriel, and then Gabriel turns out to be somebody from Ethan's past, okay? And he's somebody from Ethan's past, even before the first Mission Impossible, way back in 1996, right? And so they're kind of bringing a lot of things full circle in this movie, like bringing Kittredge back, Henry Czerny, bringing Kittredge back, bringing another chase on a train, a fight on a train, kind of bringing the train thing back from the first one. You know, where they were on the train going through the tunnel. A lot of things coming back. I think speaking of being retro again, like I said in my spoiler-free review, we finally get that Days of Thunder reunion we've all been waiting for, right? You know, Cole Trickle and Russ Wheeler reunited back together again. Okay, we got Tom Cruise in this movie and Cary Elwes, you know, who played Russ Wheeler and Days of Thunder, you know, the main rival to Cole Trickle. We get them reunited here in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Okay, where Cary Elwes played the director of national intelligence. Can't remember what his name was here, but yeah, it turns out to be a bad guy at the end, and it doesn't last long at the end. Okay, he just I guess he just said the wrong words to Gabriel, gave up his shit, and Gabriel's like, you gotta go down. Okay, but yeah, we did briefly get a Days of Thunder reunion in this. Okay, so awesome, very, very cool. But yeah, just some cool things in this movie here. Check out the live chat here. It's sad we can't get Yingling. Yeah, that's been a big alternative to Bud Light there. So I would also check out like Professor Savage. I mean, there's a lot of beers that, you know, Anheuser-Busch and then Coors, excuse me, they don't brew. Okay, you got to be careful though, because there's a lot of, you know, brews out there that you would not think have anything to do with Anheuser-Busch and you know, Coors and all that stuff there. Miller, I guess. But because like right after the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing went down with Bud Light, I reviewed a beer called Presidente on this show, or maybe my spoiler-free review. And who would think Presidente? Okay, who would think that was brewed by Anheuser-Busch? But it turned out to be, and of course it happens right after the whole Dylan Mulvaney shit show. So you got to be careful. Okay, Google that shit. Okay, and that's what I do every single time I go get, you know, beers here. You know, from I've got this big store called Total Wine and More, where it's like the fucking Walmart of alcohol. And maybe you have a Total Wine and More in your area, so you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, you walk in and it's like the Costco of booze. You're like walking around, and you hear that angelic music in the background. Like walking around, oh my god, so much bourbon, so much whiskey, so much tequila, so much beer. Oh my god! They even have like a walk-in humidor. I mean, it's paradise on earth, I tell you. Okay, that's where I get all my Monte Cristo cigars and shit. But yeah, so I go there and I grab beers, and there's that. So I always have to check on my phone. I always have to like bust out Google and make sure that I'm not getting a beer that's brewed by Anheuser-Busch or Coors or Miller or whatever. Okay, there. So, and that means you can do that too. Okay, let me take a tug off this bad boy. See, here, you just heard me coughing there, so I'm like, hey, I gotta do something about that, right? Gotta stay hydrated there. But yeah, so I made sure that Smithwick's Red Ale has nothing to do with Anheuser-Busch or Coors or Miller or anything like that. So there was a lot of beer that are not brewed by any of those companies right there. Got to get into it. Okay, so yeah, so Professor Savage, that's your homework for this week. Okay, go out there and get some beer that has nothing to do with those tranny loving brewers right there. So, or the lovers of the LGHDTV community. Okay, so which you're fine, live and let live in that community, but once you come after the kids, then you went too far, and now it's your ass. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother show. Okay, not this show. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about a little product we like to call Nature Clear. Okay, speaking of drinking beer and bourbon and tequila and going out to Total Wine and More, and maybe drinking a little too much of the inventory you get from a store like Total Wine and More. Okay, we got a little Nature Clear recovery powder. And what it's all for is it helps to prevent you from getting a hangover. Okay, when you have taken, you're imbibing a little too much, you're ingesting a little too much of what you bought at Total Wine and More, or you're hitting the beer patio, or you're shaking your booty at the dance club or something like that, and you don't want to get the hangover. Well, grab yourself a little nature clear recovery powder. There you go. Did you like that dramatic pause right there? Did that work? Probably didn't. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, just grab some of this and you just pour some of this in like 12 ounces of water, or like your average bottle of water. And, you could pour it in there with like some lemonade Mio. I know my man, I'm Sean Cav, does that. He put some lemonade Mio in with the water to make it even tastier. Okay. So then you just drink that up before you go out and have a good time. And then you're good to go. Okay. But have no fear. If you're out there and you're on your, 17th tequila shot, and you're like, oh my God, I forgot to take my Nature Clear recovery powder. Why did you remind me, man? I told you. Like, hey, you know what? Don't yell at your wife. Don't yell at your husband. You're good to go. Okay. Let's keep it peaceful. Okay. Because all you have to do is just take this right when you get home. Okay. All right. So crawl out of your Uber at 3:30 in the morning, because don't drink and drive, and crawl up into your front door, crawl a little further, get to your pantry, grab your Nature Clear recovery powder, chug that bad boy, and then crawl into bed. And you don't have to worry about having a hangover there. Okay. And I'm sure this is just the live read Nature Clear wants. Okay. And it also helps you recover from smoking and vaping. Okay. So this is the badass Swiss Army knife of recovery. Okay. So just get down in the description, click the Nature Clear link down there, and then get whatever Nature Clear products you want in the cart. And then in the promo code field, you just throw in that word movies. Okay. Yeah. And you are going to get up to 25% off your next order. You heard me right, people. You heard me right. Up to 25% off your next Nature Clear recovery powder order. Yes, absolutely. Okay. All right. So let's check this out. Enough about that. Okay. All right. So get out there. Check that out. Get that stuff going on. But Tom Cruise, it's interesting to see where they go with this movie next year. Okay. Because as you could tell from the ending of this movie, where who is it that is it Henry Czerny? Is it Kittredge that does the narration at the end, where he's kind of going over what's happening now and what they have to do in the next movie and that kind of thing, as they're kind of showing they're panning under the water, under the Arctic ice, where this Russian sub sank earlier, at the beginning of the movie. I think it's Kittredge that's doing the narration, I think. And so I'm interested to see what they're going to do in the next movie, because obviously, because of that, they're going to have a lot of underwater scenes. Maybe they call up James Cameron, for advice, because he does all these underwater movies, The Abyss and Titanic and Avatar and all that. So Avatar, Way of Water, I should say. It'd be cool to see. I mean, I imagine that this movie is going to have a pretty cool under the ocean stunt. Maybe, if I don't know, I'm trying to figure out like what a cool under the water ocean stunt would be for Tom Cruise or something like that. So, but you know what? Hey, leave it to them. They'll figure it out. But it also sounds, I think we also all already know what one of the cool stunts. Well, I don't think we know what one of the cool stunts is that Tom Cruise is going to do for part 2, which is him. Looks like he's like walking on the wings of like this World War I era biplane, because we saw that when he was flying above like South Africa in that thank you video that he did for watching this Mission Impossible movie there. So I know that that's a pretty badass stunt that Tom Cruise is doing. I mean, that guy gives his entire body to entertain you. Okay, so you guys got to go see the movie, okay, because that guy's got balls of solid rock. Okay, so reward that kind of bravery with the measly 12, 13, 14 bucks, to go see his movie. Okay, all right. Beer drinking Trev in the live chat. Next movie, Tom Cruise takes a jet ski over the Meg Shark. Now that'd be badass. While screaming, "Show me the money!" Yeah, I mean, and he would have and he would just have that quintessential Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt expression on his face right there. So yeah, there you go. I'll tell you, why are you not writing screenplays, Beer Drinking Trev? You could do that, man. I'll tell you. Or maybe you are. And I just don't know it. I just don't know it. And then maybe you turn into a movie, and I'll be reviewing your movies, Beer Drinking Trev. Okay, you bet. But yeah, there you go. That's a good suggestion. I'll tell you. I like where your head's at, man. I like it. But yeah, so there's going to be so much cool stuff in part 2, and I can't wait for it. Now, I don't know how long we're going to have to wait for it because it's scheduled to be released, at least as of right now, for I think June 28th next year. But I thought I heard that they had pretty much the whole thing filmed except for like the biggest action scene, the biggest action set piece in the movie. That was the one scene that they haven't filmed. So now, thanks to the writer's strike and the Screen Actors Guild strike, I don't know if they filmed that scene. Maybe they already have. Maybe they fit it in right before those strikes begin, and it'll still, release next year on June 28th. I don't know. But we might have to wait a little longer than we would like, to check out Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2. Okay. But I imagine there's going to be some chases. Obviously, Hayley Atwell as Grace is going to be back. They have Rebecca Ferguson in the credits, but we know her Elsa character died, but they could have her in the credits just to make sure that they don't give it away that she died in this movie by not having her in the credits for part 2, or she's going to be in some flashback scenes or something like that. So, but yeah, it'd be fantastic. I don't know if part 2 is going to be like the end of Ethan Hunt and they're going to turn it over to somebody new. I mean, maybe Grace. Again, I would not have a problem with Grace like being the new main character in the Mission Impossible movies, because the way that she's carried herself in the movie and the way that she's been written in the movie has me convinced that she's earned it, right? She doesn't feel forced or anything like that. She doesn't feel forced like Captain Marvel, right? Or what's her name from the Rings of Power? The main character in the Rings of Power, Galadriel or Guyladriel, doesn't feel forced. Okay, she's holding her own with Ethan Hunt. She's funny. She's very personable. She's got a lot of great character in this in part 1. I mean, she could have got paid $100 million from the U.S. government, and she declined it because she didn't want to sell her soul. Okay, so that shows, she's got soul. Okay, and she's got integrity. And so, yeah, she's a funny character and she's very likable. So I could see her maybe taking over for Tom Cruise in the Mission Impossible franchise after this. So let's check out live chat. Beer Drinking Trev putting in some major chat work. Bathroom ceiling's done. Finally ready for color on the walls. There you go. Hey, Channel 2 Action News. Welcome. Well, my. Yeah, is that? I was wondering if that's like is that a Tony song? My, sure look good tonight. Okay, I'll stop doing that. Or maybe is that a Grace Randolph reference? Because Grace Randolph is she's a stupid, skanky movie reviewer that you see on YouTube right there. So if you ever want to know what movie is an actual good movie, check out, just see what movies she hates and sprint. Don't walk to that movie because that movie is good if Grace Randolph hates it. Okay. But good to see you, Channel 2 Action News. And Beer Drinking Trev keeping us up to date on Operation Paint Job right here. Because like I said, he's getting the job done. He's putting in work. He's multitasking. He's being a good buddy and joining in and listening in and getting the job painting as well. So, and Channel 2 Action News. Dang, the chat is full of handsome sun guns. Handsome sun gun. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, hey, you know what? You guys can be a handsome son of a gun too if you get in the live chat on Rumble or YouTube. Okay, I want to hear from you. All right, so. But yeah, so I think it was pretty much just talking about how much I just can't wait for part 2. We'll see if it actually comes out on June 28th next year. And so I don't know, because there's gonna be a lot of shit that's delayed because of the strikes, obviously, as you guys know. Most of the shit that's going to be delayed is shit you want delayed. Okay. And these strikes are going to help get rid of the weak gazelles from the herd. Okay. We're going to get rid of the shitty writers and the shitty, well, maybe not the shitty actors, but the shitty writers. Okay. That shouldn't even, be in Hollywood anyway. Okay. So, and there we go. All right. Enough about the strikes. I know, I'm sure you're like, hey, this is not Strike Merica, spoiler warning. Okay. This is Movies Merica, spoiler warning. Okay. Well, hey, we have come to that time, everybody. We have come to that time where I want to talk about my favorite subject and go into my favorite segment of every Movies Merica spoiler warning episode. Yes, that's right. I'm sure you've guessed it. It is, of course, the movie military moment. Can't even get that out. Movie military moment. Okay. Now, the movie military moment, what that is it's my version. It's the time I take out to dedicate some time to our military men and women that have served us honorably and have provided us the freedom that we all too often take for granted. Okay. And they've done such a great job at doing that. They've gone above and beyond so much. They've won the Congressional Medal of Honor. Okay. And as you would imagine, if one wins the Congressional Medal of Honor, they did some hellacious shit. Okay. Some incredible shit, sometimes deadly shit, unfortunately, and they get awarded it posthumously. Okay. But because it's some hellacious shit they did, it would be something to behold on a movie, in a movie scene, right? In a movie, right? The kind of scene where you'd be like, oh my God, holy what did they do? Look at they did. They're mowing down all those Germans. Oh my God, they took a flamethrower to those that Japanese pillbox. Holy shit. They fucking took their airplane and they took out those enemies, that enemy. Holy shit, my God, my eyes are popping out of my head. This is such a cool scene. So it would be a movie military moment, right? Okay. And so I just want to give them the movie treatment, okay? Because we all like movie stars, but these guys, that win the Medal of Honor, they're the real star. They're the real heroes. I guess I'm trying to stammer out. Trying to stammer out, okay? And so to dedicate, a segment to them, these heroes, they deserve a little movie military moment music all their own. Okay, so let's get this fired up. All right. Tonight's well-earned recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor is one First Lieutenant Samuel Woodfill. Okay, and he is from World War I, because we don't give World War I enough love on this show. Okay, I have been a little bit remiss for when talking about Medal of Honor winners from World War I. So we're gonna fix that tonight. Okay, so yes, First Lieutenant Samuel Woodfill. While he was leading his company against the enemy, his line came under heavy machine gun fire, which threatened to hold up the advance. Followed by two soldiers at 25 yards, this officer went out ahead of his first line toward a machine gun nest and worked his way around its flank, leaving the two soldiers in front. When he got within 10 yards of the gun, it ceased firing and four of the enemy appeared, three of whom were shot by First Lieutenant Woodfill. The fourth, an officer, rushed at First Lieutenant Woodfill, who attempted to club the officer with his rifle. After a hand-to-hand struggle, First Lieutenant Woodfill killed the officer with his pistol. His company thereupon continued to advance until shortly afterwards, another machine gun nest was encountered. Calling on his men to follow, First Lieutenant Woodfill rushed ahead of his line in the face of heavy fire from the nest. And when several of the enemy appeared above the nest, he shot them, capturing three other members of the crew and silencing the gun. A few minutes later, this officer, for a third time, demonstrated conspicuous daring by charging another machine gun position, killing 5 men in one machine gun pit with his rifle. He then drew his revolver and started to jump into the pit when two other gunners only a few yards away turned their guns on him. Failing to kill them with his revolver, he grabbed a pick lying nearby and killed both of them. Inspired by this exceptional courage displayed by this officer, his men pressed on, to their objective under severe shell and machine gun fire. Yes, give it up, everybody, for First Lieutenant Samuel Woodfill. I salute you, sir. Yes. And this was all went down in France, Cunel, France, to be specific. So that is tonight's military movie moment. All right. Yes. So yeah, just think upon our men and women who have won the Congressional Medal of Honor. All right. They fought for all of us. Okay. Let's check out the chat. Check out the chat. All right. What do we got here? We got, oh, yeah, man. We got all kinds. We got Salty 3 crew. Hello, chat. Hey, welcome to this chat here. Good to see you, okay? And Channel Action 2. Hello. 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 All right, man. Good to see some others here in the live chat. All right, because I want to see some engagement. Okay, I want to hear some other voices all about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. And it doesn't even have to be about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. It could be about any movie, okay? Anything you like, okay? All right, so, hey, you can even put a shit emoji in the live chat in there, okay? If you're like in the middle of a bunch of shit, I get it. I understand, okay? You might be watching your kids. You got 6 kids, got 6 Rugrats running around. Oh, my God, they're running all over the place. My God, I can't handle it. Oh, my God, I really want to live chat with Van, but, man, I got a little Tommy over there, a little Susie, and, oh, my God, Billy just puked up over there. God, we're going to, hey, you know what? I get it. You're busy. So, yeah, put like a fire emoji, a shit emoji in the live chat. Just put a, hey, how you doing? Whatever, okay, whatever you can, okay? Or, hey, watch the show. Watch a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you can. Okay. Any bit helps. Okay. I know I sound like Jerry Lewis on a Jerry Lewis telethon. But only you can help these African children. Oh, wait, that wasn't African children. I'm totally screwing up my telethon. All right. That's Sally Struthers. Okay. What was it? What was Jerry Lewis? What, muscular dystrophy? Something like that? Anyway, one of those deadly diseases. Okay. The chat, if they're paying attention, will set me straight. But yeah, good to see you in the chat there, Salty 3 crew. And I want to see my Reapers show up. I want to see more Reapers coming over here. I want to see the Red Pill Fight Club get up in the live chat. Okay, so if you're out there lurking, because that's what we call you, if you're just watching and you're not getting up in the live chat, you're lurking. You're lurking. Don't be a lurker. Okay, get out there. Okay. We won't hurt you in the live chat. We won't. We promise we won't hurt you. It's a safe space, okay? Get in the live chat. Now no one's going to join the live chat because I'm taunting everybody now. I take that back. Please, pretty please, the sugar on top, come into the live chat, okay? And talk to me, please. I'm getting lonely. All right, that'll definitely keep people from coming to the live chat there. But, yeah, moving on. Okay. But hey, yeah, let me take this chance to, before we get into another segment exclusive to this show, coming here in just a minute. But before I do that, let me tell you all about the Bannies. Yes, the Bannies is our award show that is coming up here. You've heard of the Oscars? The Oscars, whatever. We've got the Bannies, okay? The Oscars eats the Bannies dust, okay? The Oscars couldn't lick the Bannies jockstrap, okay? The Bannies is soon to overtake the Oscars and the Emmys and the Grammys, and the People's Choice Awards as the premier award show to check out. Plus, it's not going to try to preach to you, okay? We're not going to have Joaquin Phoenix preaching to you about, conserving and not eating meat and all that shit. We're not going to have, Meryl Streep telling us dudes we're all part of the evil patriarchy and all that stuff. So even though she was best friends with Harvey Weinstein, okay. But anyway, no, this is the Bannies. Okay, so stay on point there. Stay on point, Van. Stay on point. The Bannies is our award show that's coming out where we have 6 categories that you can vote in. Okay, 6 categories to vote into. Obviously, we're gonna vote a winner for these 6 categories. And you can participate in there, and you can go to the go to a website to vote for the Bannies, and then obviously we're gonna have an award show eventually where we're going to award the obviously the award for each of these 6 categories. Okay, and now let me just show you what we're talking about here. So all right, because I'm going to show you how you can vote. Okay, so let's get in here. All right. Yep. This is a well-oiled machine, everybody. Yep. So fast, I know. All right. Let's get up in here. All right. So what you can do, as you can tell, you can go to Till Death Podcast Network on Twitter, and you can go check that out. All right. So, or you can go to my Twitter at Movies Merica and check it out. And you can see this link right here. But yeah, once you see the Bannies link out here on Twitter, and you can just search for the Bannies up here as well. So it'll show you that. But once you get to this post, just click on this handy little URL. All right. And yeah, all you got to do is hit that begin right there. So let's make sure that you are seeing that. Okay. Let me get back there. Okay. All right. Let's get back over here. Where are we at? There we go. All right. So yeah. So get in here. Just hit begin. Okay. And yeah, here is our first category. Who was the most banned news media personality? All right. Tucker Carlson, Steven Crowder, Russell Brand, Elijah Schaefer, Joe Rogan, or you could write in whoever else you want to write in there, okay? And I'm going to go with Tucker Carlson because he got the boot from Fox News, and yeah, that's a decision they're definitely regretting right now. All right, so it's got CNN and MSNBC basically beating them in the ratings, pretty much, mostly. All right, so there you go. Who is the most banned sports figure? I'm going to go with Riley Gaines. Yes. All right, I'm just going to go through these really quickly because I want to show you like how fast it is. Who is the most banned movie pop culture personality? I'm going to go with Gina Carano. All right. What is the most bannable offense? I'm going to go with Bud Light, Dylan Mulvaney sponsorship. Who is the most offensive commentator? Yeah, The View. Any of those hens on The View. I'm going to go with them. Who is the biggest dingus? Man, that's you know what? There's so many dingus options in here. They're all a bunch of complete tools and dumbasses in here. So hard to decide. Going to go with Keith Olbermann. Yeah, because he's not just a dingus; he's a prehistoric dingus. Okay, so going to go for him. And then all you got to do is hit submit. Voila, all done. How hard was that, man? How hard was that? It was so easy to do that. So easy. Okay, so now it's not gonna take you near that long. Okay, because I was too busy yapping to you while I was doing it. But yeah, you just got to go to Twitter. And just look up the Bannies, just search for the Bannies, or you can go to @MoviesMerica on Twitter, and yeah, you'll see the Bannies link there as well. Okay, so definitely check that out because that's all about, you know what, you have the power to determine who's going to win those 6 categories. All right, check out the chat. Check out the chat here. Let's see what we got. All right. Yeah, nope. All right. So no new chats. We're good to go there. All right. And then also you can live chat in YouTube as well. So, and again, if you live chat in YouTube, I can throw your chat up on the screen. Okay. So, all right. So let's move on a little bit here and let's talk about the top 5 non-mission Tom Cruise movies. Yeah. We're talking about a Tom Cruise movie tonight. Okay, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. Okay, that's a mouthful every single time I talk about it. Okay, and yeah, before we get in the top 5 non-mission Tom Cruise movies, because I'm going to be yapping for a little bit, let me take a tug off this bad boy again. Oh yeah, hard work, hard damn work. I'll tell you, sitting here talking about movies, hard work. All right, now obviously you guys aren't going to agree with all of my choices here about the top 5 non-mission Tom Cruise movies, and I'll let you know my criteria or what I was thinking of or what I had in mind as I was going through these are not the most action-packed Tom Cruise movies, not the most bombastic or electric or kinetic Tom Cruise movies. I'm looking at this more from a Tom Cruise acting standpoint. Okay, how good was his performance? His performance, not how many cliffs he jumped off of, how many buildings he scaled or anything like that. No, just his acting performance, pure and simple. Okay, so we're gonna go from number 5 down to number 1. All right, so coming in with a bullet or like a bullet at number 5, we've got Edge of Tomorrow. Yes, the massively underappreciated Edge of Tomorrow, obviously with Tom Cruise, that came out I think in 2020, was it? Yeah, it's anyway, sometime, okay? 2012 or 2013, 2014, something like that, okay? And so, yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, you got to go check this out. Okay, got to check it out. Edge of Tomorrow, or it's been renamed by some Live, Die, Repeat, okay, which kind of tells you a little bit about the plot. So this is the movie where Tom Cruise, he starts out as he's just like some colonel in the army. He's like the PR guy. They're in a war. The entire world is in this war against aliens, okay? These alien invaders. And so he is like the PR guy for like this world military force going up against these aliens. So he goes on CNN and Fox News and goes on, he's, hey, tries to recruit people and tries to tell everybody, tries to recruit for the war effort, that kind of thing. So he's a PR guy, right? And so that he goes to England and he's briefed by this colonel or this general or whatever. And the general tells him, like, okay, well, yeah, you're going to go on the beach. We're going to have this big beach invasion, kind of like, D-Day. And since you're the PR person, you're going to be there to document the fighting. So basically, he's telling him he's going to be on the front lines. Well, Tom Cruise's character has just been this PR guy that's never been in a battle, never been in the field, never been in the shit, right? He's been just goes around. He's on CNN, Fox News, staying at the swanky hotels, living the cushy life, right? And suddenly here's this general like, oh yeah, you're going to go from that to going on. You're going to be on the front lines of this massive bloody battle. Okay, so good luck. And so Tom Cruise, he tries to get out of it. Okay, and basically he's disgraced and they throw him. He basically ends up going there anyway, right? And that kind of thing. And so he does end up going and being on the front lines and joining the battle. And then he ends up getting killed. Okay, and that's not a spoiler. Just watch any trailer for this movie, and that's part of the premise that they tell you in the trailer. He gets killed, and when he gets killed, he's soaked in the blood of this alien, the alien that killed him, or alien that he killed, and the kind of blood he's soaked in, it basically turns him into Bill Murray on Groundhog Day, because every single time he dies, he repeats the same day over and over again. Okay, and he gets to use that to train himself up to where he's this ultimate warrior badass, right? To help take down the aliens. And that's all I'm going to say about Edge of Tomorrow. Okay. But as you can tell from this picture, this still right here, it's action packed, man. It's explosive. There's guns and planes blowing up and all kinds of cool shit. Okay. In this movie. And so definitely check out Edge of Tomorrow. And the reason I like his acting performance in this is because it's a rare chance for us to see Tom Cruise playing this complete pussy, okay? This complete wuss in this, because that's what he is at the beginning of this movie, okay? And so he's definitely not Maverick, okay? He's definitely not Ethan Hunt at all. He's not Jack Reacher in this movie. And so you see he's got like, I'm not going to say the best character arc that we've ever seen from Tom Cruise in a movie, but up there, because he goes from this complete sniveling pussy to this ultimate badass. Okay. And it's pretty cool. And he has a great performance as he goes to this. And you have Emily Blunt in this movie. The late great Bill Paxton is in this movie, one of his last movies that he did there. Yeah. So that is number 5, Edge of Tomorrow. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Okay. Trust me, you'll be thanking me later. All right. So number 4, Minority Report. Yes. So this is the Steven Spielberg movie. Obviously, Tom Cruise plays John Anderson. And he plays the head detective in this police force that arrests people before they've committed the crime, but they know that they're going to commit the crime because of these precogs or these precognitives, right? And that can actually see into the future, and they can see people that are going to commit murder. And they can't catch people that are going to be robbing banks or, mugging people. They can only see people that are going to be murdered. Okay. And so Tom Cruise heads up this agency that is arresting people ahead of time. Okay. And saving people's lives. Okay. And the murder rate goes down significantly because of this and that kind of thing. And it's a great movie, fantastic movie, very action-packed, but very emotional, okay? And Tom Cruise's facial expressions and his mannerisms and his vocal intonations and all that just really sell that this is a tortured guy, okay? And he's a character that has had to deal with tragedy in his immediate family, okay? And I'm not going to give that away, okay? But he really sells that. Yeah, this tragedy has marked him, has put its signature on him. Okay, but there's some great action scenes, very suspenseful, great performances from him. This is like the first big movie that we see Colin Farrell in. Catherine Morris plays his wife. Not a lot of people who know who Catherine Morris is. She's an actress that I really like. The late great Max von Sydow is in this. So fantastic movie. But yeah, I really like his emotion. There's a scene towards the end of the movie where it's tough. It's tough to watch a movie without tearing up. So that's another great scene with Tom Cruise playing John Anderson in Minority Report, and at the very end of the movie, man, he really just fucking kills it. It has one of the great all-time movie endings right there. So yeah, so Minority Report is number 4. All right, so number 3. Yeah, I know you guys have heard of this one. Top Gun Maverick, number 3. And this one, his performance is fantastic because he just plays like the grizzled veteran, aging man of wisdom. Okay, the guy that has you could fill a football stadium with all the knowledge that he's forgotten about aviation and being a military aviator, and pressure under being calm under pressure, calm under fire, and Miles Teller and Monica Barbaro and the rest of the young pilots that has to train. He's got Bibles of knowledge to teach them, right? And so he portrays that character, that wise, that character full of wisdom so well in this, okay? And it's just great to see him as that kind of character, because I'm so glad that they didn't make Pete Maverick Mitchell. They didn't make him the same character that they made Indiana Jones in this latest Indiana Jones and a Dial of Diarrhea movie, okay, where they made Indiana Jones this sad, pathetic, shadow of his former self there. I mean, it just they made Maverick this man of renown and knowledge, and he has this great reputation. He's a hero to anybody that's paying attention. Now, the higher ups like Ed Harris in that movie don't like him, right? Okay, the drone ranger, as they call him, Ed Harris's character in that. But yeah, and he's and that dude, that scene with Val Kilmer as Iceman, woo, man, Tom Cruise's emotion that he brings to that scene, and then at the end when Iceman asks him, "Who's the better pilot?" and then Tom Cruise is like, "It's a nice moment. Let's not ruin it." Fantastic fucking line in that scene right there. So yeah, that's why Top Gun Maverick makes it into the top 5 in the best non-mission Tom Cruise movies based on his acting performance. Okay, all right, where are we at? Number 2, A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men, where he plays Daniel Kaffee, and he's just so charismatic in A Few Good Men. Okay, and he's got to go up against some pretty heavy hitters in this movie. I mean, he's got Jack Nicholson in this movie. He's co-starred with Demi Moore and Kevin Bacon and Kevin Pollak, and who else was the guy that played? Not Kendricks. Maybe it is Kendricks. Anyway, but like Kiefer Sutherland was in this movie as well. Cuba Gooding Jr. was in this movie before he started with Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire. He had Noah Wyle in this before Noah Wyle was played Carter or whoever he was in ER. So that tells you how long ago A Few Good Men came out. That movie came out before ER. Okay, and Noah Wyle was briefly in this movie. But it's all about Tom Cruise, not Noah Wiley. Okay. Beer jerky shrimp. I want the truth. Look, you can't handle the truth. Yeah, great line from that. So he's just very charismatic in this movie, and especially like with Demi Moore. And I like the scene where Demi Moore says that she got it signed off that she is representing one of the two Marines, right, that are charged with murder. And Tom Cruise is like, "You got permission? How did you get permission? Who did you get permission to represent my client?" And Demi Moore's like, "Oh, I got permission from Aunt Jenny." "Oh, you talked to Aunt Jenny? Aunt Jenny, huh? So, oh yeah, well, maybe we can make his Uncle Goober the judge. Maybe we could hold the trial in his barn there. Yeah, Uncle Jenny, I'm real glad you got permission from Aunt Jenny to represent the client right there." And Demi Moore's like, "Yeah, well, I want to be friends." Like, well, I'll let you know there, friend. Like, the next time you approach my client without notifying me first, I'll have you disbarred. Friends? And then just that whole scene where he goes off on Demi Moore when he comes home drunk, and he's found out that was Kendricks or somebody else, one of the characters has died or has killed himself, right? And they lost like their top witness, right? And he comes back to meet up with Kevin Pollak and Demi Moore, and he's drunk off his ass, and he just has that scene where he just goes off on Demi Moore. Just all kinds of great acting moments in A Few Good Men from Tom Cruise right here. So, all right, let's move on. Hey, and you know what's coming up next? Number one with a bullet at the top of the non-mission Tom Cruise movie top 5 is Jerry Maguire. Yep, Jerry Maguire. Some of you probably suspected that this is going to be number 1. Jerry Maguire. Show me the money. Yes, the movie that spawned all kinds of catchphrases. Okay, so I mean, you got show me the money. You got you had me at hello. You complete me. You got all the little kid sayings. Like, well, do you know the human head weighs 12 pounds or something like that? So do you know that dogs can smell fear? That was a great great character, that little kid there. Jonathan Lipnicki, I believe, was the child actor's name back then. So obviously not a kid anymore because, Jerry Maguire came out in 1996. But yeah, Tom Cruise, man, he just really put it all out there in this movie. And, he just, especially, I mean, he didn't waste any time in this movie. Like right off the bat in this movie, when he's really searching his soul. And he's wondering if he sold his soul. And he's having a crisis of conscience at the beginning. And he's so driven because of this crisis of conscience. He writes this, the mission statement. He's tearing up. He's having this, this panic attack, this mental breakdown towards the beginning of the movie. And then of course he gets fired, and his character is so humbled and humiliated and that kind of thing. And he's, he loses Cush, his star client. And yeah, he's anything but Ethan Hunt and Maverick and Jack Reacher and Cole Trickle in this movie. He is definitely not a hero for most of this movie in this. And of course you've got this scene right here. You got the "you complete me" scene, right? And when Renee Zellweger at the end, "you had me at hello," that scene right there, just great fucking scene, like right at the end. And then just the scene where he's on the couch and he's hanging out with the little kid, Jonathan Lipnicki, and Cuba Gooding Jr. Rod Tidwell calls him up, and he's like, called him, "I want to talk to my agent." And the little kid is talking to Cuba Gooding Jr. on the phone, and it's like, you talk too much. That whole scene is hilarious, and Jerry Maguire is cracking up. I mean, just so many great scenes from Tom Cruise and Jerry Maguire here. So just and as I'm going through this, I'm checking out at the corner of my eye. I'm getting these good live chats right there. So Beer Drinker Trev, Cocktail. What about Collateral? Yeah, those are good movies. Just just not in my top 5 right there. Collateral almost made it just simply because I don't think we had really seen Tom Cruise as a bad guy per se up until that point right there. I mean, Collateral came out in 2004. So I guess we had seen him as a bad guy, like Interview with a Vampire as Lestat, and then kind of a bad guy in Magnolia. But Collateral was like his most all-out bad guy right there. But I just thought he was a little too stiff and rigid in that movie right there. And maybe that's kind of the character, right? His character is supposed to be stoic and silent and badass and that kind of thing. So, but get me wrong, I do like Collateral. I like the atmosphere and the stylishness of Collateral. Any Michael Mann movie, boom! I love all the Michael Mann movies, like Collateral. That movie came out 9 years after Heat, and so Collateral was like kind of like a spiritual cousin to Heat because it took place in LA as well, just like and whatnot. So kind of had that same Heat vibe to it right there. But so yeah. So only too happy to give Collateral some love here on Movies America. Spoiler warning for you there, Beer Drinker Trev. Cocktail was it was a good performance. It was a good performance there. It's just call me crazy. I thought he was outshined by Brian Brown, who played Coughlin in that movie, just a little bit. Okay, in that. But Tom Cruise, he was good in that movie. He definitely had charisma in that movie. Pardon me. He definitely had charisma in that in Cocktail. And that movie is, I will say, that movie is a guilty pleasure because the critics hate it, and so it didn't get rated that high. But you know what? I don't give a fuck what the critics say. I mean, I like Cocktail's good. It's a good movie, and it takes me back to the 80s too, obviously, because it came out in 88, and it's just it's just a fun movie to check out, and just the interaction between him and Brian Brown's Coughlin character. And in the bar, and Coughlin teaching him Coughlin's Law and that kind of thing, and it had some good dramatic moments, that kind of thing. So Cocktail, absolutely. Cocktail was a joke suggestion. yeah. It would have been a little bit more obvious if you would have said like Losing It or Legend or something like that. But Cocktail is good enough to where I didn't get the joke thing. But yeah, absolutely. I hear it. I got it. And we had another good suggestion from Till Death Podcast. What about The Firm? The Firm almost made it, man. It was right there on the cusp, man, because I was going between The Firm. I had The Firm, Born on the 4th of July is another one that is right there on the cusp. But obviously, these are my picks, in my opinion, right? Obviously, not saying this is the Bible, right? I'm not saying my opinion, and these 5 are scripture, right? Okay. But The Firm is also fantastic in that. I mean, that's another movie like Minority Report. When I think about Tom Cruise's performance and similar acting performances in movies, I put The Firm is a lot like Minority Report, where in The Firm, he's under the kind of the same kind of crisis. So he's being chased. Now in The Firm, it's just talk about outright being killed, right? Where in the Minority Report, just talk about it being arrested and all that stuff. But and he's got his spouse hanging in the basement, hanging in the balance. I hope he doesn't have his spouse hanging in the basement. the uncut or the cut scenes from The Firm. Tom Cruise has his spouse hanging in the basement. But The Firm almost made the cut for what that's worth. There, Till Death Podcast. And again, another movie where he is paired up, or he's in the movie with some real powerhouses, man. Gene Hackman, Hal Holbrook, Ed Harris, all kinds of great actors in that. Holly Hunter is in that. You get Gary Busey, before he turned into the the completely spooky as fuck freak show that he is now. Right there. Now, Beer Drinker Trev, that's got to be another joke. Eyes Wide Shut, right there. But yeah, getting some great suggestions. Night and Day. That was kind of more of like a bubblegum performance there. I thought from there he was just kind of this saccharine kind of bubblegum. Hey, this hero that can do no wrong. Guy Roy Miller, I think it was his character in that. So Night and Day, good movie, great action set pieces in that movie, and the chemistry between him and Cameron Diaz. There we go, Cameron Diaz in that movie was fantastic there. So obviously continuing their chemistry or their acting performances. Continuing on from Vanilla Sky, another suggestion that we see here in the chat, because Cameron Diaz was in Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise right there. Valkyrie is another strong suggestion. Valkyrie, I believe that was written by Christopher McQuarrie, or at least partly written by Christopher McQuarrie, who has directed the last 4 Mission Impossible movies. He directed Part 2, Part 1, Fallout, and Rogue Nation. So 4? Yeah, 4 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love to count. 4 Mission Impossible movies for Christopher McQuarrie, who co-wrote Valkyrie, that Till Death podcast checked or suggested right there. So Valkyrie is a good movie. Valkyrie is a good yet another movie with a killer cast that he's in, with Tom Wilkinson, Kenneth Branagh. I'm sure I'm leaving a bunch of others out in that movie. So it was David Thewlis. David Thewlis was in that movie as well. Thomas Kretschmann was in there. So I mean, Tom Cruise, he's got so much cachet. He's got so much pull in Hollywood. So many actors want to work with him, right? So there's so many movies where he's got this just stellar cast that he's in, that he's the guy. He's running the show. He's the headliner, right? He's the guy above the title, right? With all these guys and whatnot. So absolutely. What other suggestions we got? Tropic Thunder. Yeah, Tropic Thunder. There as Les Grossman. Just that part where he's like, who here is the key grip? All right, you. I want you to go over and punch that piece of shit as hard as you can, right in the face, like that whole scene. Did I say, what is it? Lex was it? Yeah, what is it? Lex Grossman? Probably is Lex Grossman there. So he was fantastic at that character. Now, the gimmick of that movie, as far as Lex Grossman, we're gonna go Lex Grossman. We're going with Lex Grossman. We're doing it live. Okay, we're going with Lex Grossman. The whole jingle or the gimmick about that movie is you weren't supposed to know that it was Tom Cruise playing this guy. Okay, and he was fantastic. He was and that movie. Him playing that movie, Lex Grossman, where the fuck his name is. We're going with Lex Grossman. That really helped get him to the goodwill with moviegoers that he has now. Now, of course, there's still plenty of people that hate his guts. Okay, but I mean, think about it, starting around 2005, Tom Cruise was fucking hated by a lot of people. Okay, because he went on some rant about vaccines or something like that way before COVID, okay? Way before RFK Jr., okay? Made it popular, okay? I think it was vaccines. I think he went on some rant about vaccines, and so he got a bunch of people pissed off about him about that, okay? And then he went on Oprah, and he was jumping on her couch and that kind of thing. And so all that, and I'm sure there probably was some other shit. Tom Cruise was hated, okay? From 2005 to probably all the way up to Tropic Thunder when that came out in 2008. Okay. And so him playing that Grossman character in Tropic Thunder and then people finding out it was Tom Cruise, they were like, oh, that's cool. Okay. Tom Cruise, he can make fun of himself. He can play these characters where he's not the hero. All right. Where he's not the top dog and all the time. And he's not, he's always perfect and he never does anything wrong. He can play a fun character, okay? A very flawed character like Les Grossman here. And of course, Till Death podcast. And Scientology. Yeah, that little thing I glossed over, Scientology there. So yeah, a lot of people they're like, what this guy's a freaking weirdo. What the hell? Like, because I mean, if you check into like what Scientologists believe, it's out there. I'll just say souls, space beings, and volcanoes. Okay. All right. So yeah, if you're like some agnostic or atheist and you think like what people believe from the Bible is some weird shit, yeah, check out Dianetics. Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard. Okay, check out what Scientologists believe. Holy fucking shit. Okay. Yeah, and there's Still Death podcast. That is definitely a reason for people to hate them. Well, yeah. It's I mean, because yeah, you think about Scientology, like what Scientology has done to a lot of people and that kind of thing. So it's just weird. Just fucking out there. Okay. Anyway, this isn't Scientology hour. Okay. So yeah, so I'm not going to go on and on about that. But yes, good point. Another reason why people would hate Tom Cruise. But yeah, so he was hated up until Tropic Thunder, and then that bought him at least a little goodwill. And so that was in 2008. And then, I think the first movie I could think of after 2008 that he was in after that was Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. I'm sure there was a movie in between Tropic Thunder and Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol that I can't recall here. But Till Death podcast, it's the Branch Davidian of celebrity religions. Yeah, it's I'm still waiting for that Scientology center to burn down in a blaze of glory, right there. But anyway, I was about to go on some Branch Davidians tangent, but I'm going to hold myself back here. Okay, hold me back, everybody. So then by the time Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol rolled around, he had enough goodwill that when that movie came out, that movie was a hit. Okay, Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, because it was the first Mission Impossible movie out there since Mission Impossible 3 came out in 2006. And I like Mission Impossible 3. I like it. But unfortunately, it was a victim to all that Tom Cruise hate. Okay. Because when Mission Impossible 3 came out, people would have rather given themselves a root canal with a rusty spoon than go see any Tom Cruise movie. Okay. So Mission Impossible 3, while it wasn't a flop, it didn't do the numbers that Paramount and J.J. Abrams, that directed it, wanted it to do. Okay. Because Tom Cruise was persona non grata. Okay. All right. Wasn't quite as persona non grata as Harvey Weinstein, but close. Okay. Right there. So, but yeah, so that's a Tom Cruise starring, or not starring, but yeah, being in Tropic Thunder and the whole history of how that all went down. I know. Fascinating. Okay. So yeah, that has been the top 5 non-Mission Impossible Tom Cruise movies. All right, let's remove that from there. But I just appreciate everyone being in the live chat and contributing here. You guys are keeping me on my toes, keeping me entertained right there. So hopefully I am keeping you entertained. All right, so that's my job, man. I got to do it. All right, that's what I owe everybody. Okay, because I want people to check this out. I want them to be like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I joined in here. Okay. What do we got here? Live chat. Till Death podcast. After rewatching all of the Mission Impossibles this week, number 3 was pretty good. Michelle Monaghan was great in that movie. Yeah, wasn't she? Excellent in that movie right there. Because that was after she had just been in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer the year before. And Michelle Monaghan, she's an Iowa girl. Okay, she's from the same state I originally am from, right there. So she comes from small town Iowa, and she made it out to Hollywood to become a famous actress, right there. But yeah, in that, I mean, she's got some great emotion as Ethan Hunt's fiance, and then eventually wife in that movie. And she's got that. She's got that great chemistry with Ethan Hunt in the movie, and then she's put into harm's way, and because she's built up that likability, that personability, you care about what happens to her in Mission Impossible 3 there. So, and so Michelle Monaghan, good callback because she's very good in that movie. That movie had the best Mission Impossible villain, I think, out of all the movies. Okay, so with the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman playing Owen Davian in that movie, fantastic. Okay, better than any villain in any of the other Mission Impossible movies. Okay, till that podcast, me and Jen just saw her new show Echoes, and it's rad. Echoes, okay. Now is that a Marvel? Is that MCU? Is that DC? I think that has something to do with MCU or DC. I'm probably dead wrong, but yeah, but Echoes, I have to check that out right there. Yeah, so Michelle Monaghan, I liked her. She's been in a lot of great movies. What's that? Source Code with her and Jake Gyllenhaal. She was great in that. Check out that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang movie that I mentioned a little while ago that she was in before Mission Impossible 3. She is a total smoke show in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Yes, and she is in all her movies. Obviously, she was in we saw her again briefly at the end of Ghost Protocol, and then we saw a little bit more of her in Mission Impossible Fallout. So excellent there. So all right, so let's move here and let's see what else we've got going on. All right, so we've already got the bannies. All right, but you know what the hell, let's show you the bannies one more time. We can never show you the bannies enough. Okay, so yeah, get in there and vote for the bannies. Okay, again, that's our award show coming up here in the future. And you know what, you don't want to have FOMO, do you? No, so get in there and vote. Okay, the power is in your hands. All right, it's in your hands to vote for these 6 categories that we have for the bannies. So yeah, there's a bannies link in the description. Okay, so you don't have to hunt and peck all over Al Gore's worldwide interweb. You just got to go to the bannies link down below, and check out the bannies and get in there and empower yourself. Okay. All right, so let's check out. Let's move on as we're wrapping up this Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 episode of 1 Mission Impossible. Spoiler warning. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you all about what was that? Blah, blah, blah. Let's try that again. www.moviesmerica.com. That's where you can check out the audio-only versions of my spoiler-free reviews that come out every Sunday. And so if you don't want to check them out with, if you don't have to check out this mug, all right, this mug with this chiseled, man, woo! I'll tell you, that got dirty all of a sudden. I'll tell you, people are going to be laughing at that one, and they should. This chiseled jaw, you don't want to see this mug with that, and you just want to get the audio-only version of my spoiler-free reviews. You can check out www. Jeez, my God. Here, let me do this. Boy, you're getting tongue-tied over here. There we go. It's been a long day, everybody. Long day. www.moviesmerica.com. All right, that's what we've got going on there. And you can also check out the audio-only versions at like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We got iHeartRadio, Spotify, all that stuff. Okay, and if you check it out there, give me a 5-star rating if you would. That would be excellent. Okay, moving on. All right, I am on the social medias at Movies Merica. That's my handle, at Movies Merica, on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also on Facebook. If you want to check me out there, if you're over 55 and you still use Facebook. I kid. I use Facebook very briefly, but I use Facebook a little bit. But Twitter and Instagram, I'm out there at Movies Merica. You can check out my posts that I put out there, and it's a good place to go to for links to get to this show here, and links to my spoiler-free reviews that come on Sundays. And and I put out my posts out there about movies and entertainment and that kind of thing. If you want to check those out right there, I'll tell you, you will be sorry. They're just, oh my God, they're so dynamic. They're so life-changing. They're so fantastic. I tell you, they're the best. I don't know. I kind of slowly but surely went into Trump mode there. So yes, okay. Yes, I know. Very, very well. Tremendous. All right. That's a terrible Trump impression. I'm going to move on. All right. And we have tdpn.locals.com, as I told you about. And as you can see up at the very top right there, tdpn.locals.com. That is our fantastic website. We have our videos and our blogs and our articles all out there about movies, entertainment, hot buttons, sizzling hot issues of the day, politics, all that kind of stuff. Now, for a while there, I was slacking and I didn't put anything out there on tdpn.locals.com. But I have just remedied that, and I'm going to get more frequent out there because I've seen the error of my ways, and I need to repent and do something about that. So I just put out a post out there about the new ultra feminist Barbie movie that came out. So and that's one of the aims of Movies America. Spoiler warning, and Movies America spoiler free. My spoiler free episodes is to warn you off of woke movies. And let me just take this quick few seconds to let you know. Yeah, that Barbie movie, from what I've heard from all kinds of trusted sources, that is like feminazi the motion picture. Okay, so if you think you're taking your kids out to this sweet, bubbly, entertaining movie for all your kids and your little girls, or maybe you want to go back to your, you want to remember your little girl past and you played with Barbies or something like that. So, anyway, it's not just going to be that movie. Okay. Yeah. They want you to bust out your notebook and take notes because, yeah, it's going to be a woke after school special, but that's Barbie. Okay. So again, I've officially advised you, warned you. You go see it if you want. It's your funeral. But anyway, all right. And hey, you know what? We got super sweet merch. Yes, we got merch up for you. Till Death Podcast Network related merch. Okay, so for this show, Movies America, Sipping with Sean, the Whiskey Capitalist Podcast. Okay, Till Death Podcast merch for all those fantastic shows on the Till Death Podcast Network. And you can click on the merch link in the description down below to get yourself. I mean, we got everything, man. We got got coffee cups, we got t-shirts, we got yoga pants. I mean, everything. You know, we got nuclear reactors down. Well, maybe we don't have those. Okay, but yeah. Till that podcast, he's asking me a question. Are you going to do a review for Oppenheimer? Yes, I am. Absolutely. Great question. I'm going to go see Oppenheimer 2 nights after I wrap this bad boy up, and I'm going to do an Oppenheimer review. So the spoiler-free review for that from yours truly will be out this Sunday, okay? And then next Thursday's Movies America spoiler warning will be all about Oppenheimer. So, yep, good question. Good question. And, yeah, that's going to be, it's 3 hours, man, 3 hours. So it's going to be a late night. Okay, 2 nights. So, yeah, check out our sweet, sweet, sweet merch out there at this merch link down in the description. All right, where are we at? All right, so at Till Death Network /solo or solo.to/Till Death Pod Network right there. That's where you can check out all the links that have anything to do with the Till Death Podcast Network right there. So your one-stop shop to find out like how to get to this and that and that and this and this. That all has to do with Till Death Podcast Network. So again, you don't have to hunt and peck all over the internet to try to find everything that has to do with the Till Death Podcast Network. Okay. All right. And we've got solo.to/Till Death Studios. And so why would you want to go there? Well, you go there if you want to do a show like this, okay, and you want to have some really cool eye-popping graphics, like, say, the background you see here, the Movies America background with the lightning and the overlay up at the very top, the Movies America, tdpn.locals.com, the intro that you saw earlier, cool shit like that. Ian will do all of those great things for your show, okay? Or what? And it doesn't have to be just a show. I'm sure he can do all kinds of cool visual things for whatever your imagination comes up with there. But in order to have him work his magic, yes, you need to go to solo.to/Till Death Studios. Okay, moving on to solo.to/I'm Sean Cab. And that's where you can see all the links that have anything to do with Sean's contribution to the greater Till Death Podcast Network effort. Yes, because he's got his show, Sipping with Sean, his fantastic show, Sipping with Sean, that comes on every other Friday at, I believe, 4:30 Central my time. So 4:30 Central. So whatever that translates to your time, every other Friday. I think I've got that time right. But an even better reason to go to solo.to/I'm Sean Caff so you can get the accurate time, if that is indeed inaccurate. Okay. There. All right. Moving on to solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist. Again, you can get all the links that have to do with that totally fantastic The Whiskey Capitalist podcast that comes out on every Monday and Wednesday nights for me, again, in the Central Time Zone, comes on at 7 p.m. And yeah, they talk about, they just have just excellent commentary, just hilarious commentary, edgy, sketchy commentary about all the hot button topics of the day, politics and entertainment and all that kind of stuff. They have funnies that they go through at the end. That'll be having you pissing your pants, man. It won't be raining, but you'll be sitting in a puddle because it'll be so funny. You'll be laughing so hard you'll be pissing. There you go. All right. So if that doesn't sell that show, I don't know what will. That's some great marketing right there. This show is so great, you'll piss yourself. There you go. All right. Moving on to solo.to/Till Death Podcast. And this is where you can go to get the links all about the Till Death Podcast that Ian and his fantastic wife Jen do every other Saturday afternoon for me. I believe it comes on like at 4 p.m. Central for me. There, I think I have that time right. And that's every other Saturday that comes on. And yeah, that's where you get the husband and wife perspective, all about, again, hot button topics and politics. And they throw some comedy, some funny in there as well. And I'm sure they throw some marital tips and tribulations and all that stuff in there. So definitely check that out there. If you got time, you will not be sorry. Absolutely. All right. So yeah, I think that wraps it up for those right there. You guys have been fantastic, especially you guys in the live chat. You guys have gone above and beyond because, it's one thing to listen and watch this show. Okay. I do appreciate that. Don't get me wrong. I do appreciate that, but I love the engagement in the live chat. Okay. You guys get, chatting it up with me and that kind of thing. You saw it earlier, getting the live chat in there and get that engagement, because that's the backbone that makes the show fantastic. Okay. Is you engaging with me. And that's, again, I wanted to provide an outlet for people to talk in depth about each movie that I go over here with spoilers. Okay. So that kind of thing. All right, everybody, let's wrap this sucker up. Huh? What do you say? And as I always say, everybody, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya. They're coming after me, okay? But I got just enough time to ask you. Just like this video, if you would, and then subscribe to this channel, okay? I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. I gotta tell you. Hey, so before they haul me off, make sure you watch these videos over here, okay? And thanks for watching this video and the Till Death Podcast Network, okay? I gotta go.